Hi guys, thank you so much for your time. Firstly, I have just seen the trailer and walked in, and I just wanted to shake hands with each one of you just to say congratulations. This is a huge achievement. So firstly to you, big congratulations.
Thank you so much.
One is that first question to you, of course, the captain of this ship. People don't know much about it. You all made the trailer so smartly that we can make out a lot, but we still can't. What can you tell the audience at this point of time? At least where is this set? Where did the story come from?
The film is, the story was, it's a one-line story that I thought of first was a mother-daughter story, where they try to find their place in a male-dominated world, and they're trying to set Badru-Nissa as the daughter, Shamsu-Nissa as the mother, and they're trying to bring Badru's life on track.
Okay.
Because Badru's married to Hamza, and they are madly in love with each other, but there's something off in the relationship,
right,
and they want to set it right, and they're completely whacked out characters. The film is based in Baikala, and that's a fascinating world. It's got a great lingo. It's got. I spent 2-3 months there, and we all, all our actors also, they met people from there, and so much, the lingos of Urdu, Hindi, English and Marathi.
Right.
So it adds a lot of flavor to the film, a lot of humor to the film. So it's really fascinating, really. It represents Bombay in a very interesting way.
Right. It shows completely. Shefali, what kind of how would you describe this mother-daughter relationship?
Like just said, it's there. There's something completely. I mean, they're wackos.
Right.
Yeah, and they're like really quirky, and they're unintentionally just funny because of the
way they
banter.
Are.
Yeah, the way they are.
Right.
And it's like there is no hate, but they're so different from each other that their point of views don't exactly align all the time. And it's, almost like there are times you don't know which one is the mother and which one is the daughter.
Right.
Because you'd expect certain kind of maturity, somebody who'd take, who'd be more careful, more right about the way things shouldn't be.
Right.
You'd expect that behavior from a mature person. But it's almost the other way around. I mean, the mother turns up with some absurd, she has a mind of her own.
Right.
Like, she comes up with some absurd stuff. While the daughter's like, no, we can't do that.
She has too many ideas.
She has, and
mother has.
Yeah. She has many ideas, and
No
they're not
filter.
exactly, there is no filter whatsoever.
Right. Beautiful. Alia, firstly, you're looking beautiful as you always do. My first question to you is, your fans, your name carries a lot of credibility because of the work that you've done and reached this far in life. So when your name comes in a production, banner, there will be a lot of expectations. One is, do you want to tell them how come you decided to play 2 roles in this?
It very naturally happened. I don't know, it's maybe the timing of maybe it was on my mind to be like, okay, maybe it's a nice time for me to start producing the films in which I play like the title character or a very important character, or maybe it's a nice time for me to just start looking at stories a little differently. I don't know. Maybe it all worked out together, but when I heard Darlings, when I heard the narration, it was such a surprising film. Yeah. I was so taken in by how the genre just shifted very, very quickly. It was a very unique story, and it just naturally happened where I was like, okay, if I want to act in it, I also want to produce it.
Right.
And I kind of suggested that. Gaurav from Red Chilies, he brought me the script along with Jasmeet, and actually he was very supportive of that. He said, of course we must do this together, and it'll be great. And yeah, that's how it happened. So first came Darlings, and then came my production Eternal Sunshine.
Right.
So Darlings will always be very, very special to me because of that, because it was the kind of story that made me feel like, okay, no, I want to be as a creative, as a producer, telling these kind of stories.
Amazing. Do you want to tell a lay person who what do you do? What role do you play when you are a producer? Is there a lot more responsibility on you?
See, I'm someone who's very, very attached and very close to my films in general.
Right.
So anyway, I get very involved.
Sure.
But I didn't know that this is the level of involvement one can have.
Right.
With regards to a movie when you are not just an actor. Because of course, when we were making the film, I was just an actor coming onto set, doing my job, going home.
Right.
We worked, of course, a lot on the script during the the pandemic, when we were at home, we were working a lot, little fine details. Because it was the first time that I'm creatively producing the film, I could very unabashedly speak, very vocally, which I anyway do, but this was a little bit more because I was more involved, like from a position point of view.
Correct.
And Jasmeet was very receptive to that, which is great because we had a lovely collaborative energy that I feel has resulted in a lot of good things and a lot of things going very right. I don't know if this is something I can say before the film's release, but I mean genuinely, I feel like all the energies were on our side because somehow we were very much on the same page. So if I used to say something, she used to echo that feeling. If she used to say something, I used to echo that feeling. So that energy was sort of very, very sacred, I would say. But on the film set, I'm an actor. Then post wrapping that up now, whilst we're nearing release, putting together the teaser, putting together the trailer. These are things that I was never involved in. I would give my feedback and then, switch off as an actor. But now I can't switch off. I have to be involved. So from the sound to the this to the that, I give inputs on everything. And I enjoy it because it's like, okay, I'm learning so much.
So those were clearly great inputs because I enjoyed the teaser and the trailer. So can't wait for it. Vijay, big fan firstly. I want to ask you, one is, these are such relatable roles to the society. Are these coming to you naturally that people come कि मुझे इनके साथ ही काम करना है, or are you picking out of many that you get?
I am picking out of many that I get, but of course, why me is a Jasmeet question. She should answer that question. For me.
When the script was written, actually, who could play Hamza? It was Vijay Varma was on top of the list, seriously, and I always wanted him to play it. I didn't know him before. And then somehow Alia said, what about Vijay? And we approached him, and that's how it really happened.
What did you see of him that stayed with you?
Everything.
Everything
I mean,
that he's
Gully
done.
Boy was the last film I saw, but everything. And I think he's a fantastic actor. And the lingo also is very interesting in Darlings, and I thought he would pick it up really easily. So that.
Yeah, you tell me about the character then. Where has he gone wrong? What is he up to?
He's also actually very funny in the film.
Yeah, it shows.
So there's a lot of things going wrong for him. One thing that is not going wrong for him, he's trying to hold on to that one thing. And that one clinging on to one thing as if his life depends on it becomes his toxic trait, which is very interesting and which is something that audience will get to see when they watch the film. But when I was approached for this film, I had to make a tough choice because it's a character mix of so many things that you are challenged whether you will be able to meet the requirements of the part at the same time and the consequence of not repeating it. Like I don't want to repeat something that I've done before. So and those two requirements were met when I spoke to Jasmeet. We treated this character in a way that I felt was original. Original thought, original emotion, original characteristics. So that took care of the taking care of the repetitiveness of parts such as this. At the same time, just sheer nervousness of approaching a part like this, and everything was superseded when I knew that I'll be working with Alia and Shefali and Roshan and Jasmeet के साथ मेरी बहुत ज़्यादा बातचीत हुई थी, तो I understood I'm working with a very well, masala like with like stalwarts in their own light, kind of people. So that's when you come and you can bring your A game, and because you know that everybody else will be bringing their A game, that's when the stakes are high. That's when the fun happens. That's
and that all shows in the trailer. That totally shows in the trailer. This also has a Shefali, you can tell me. This also has a great message for women. I feel I just can make that out from the trailer. I've not seen the film. What is the underlining that's going around in the trailer and the story?
Of course, first is it's a film which tells a story of a lot of women and a lot of families. And in no way are we supporting or doing a propaganda of violence, whether it comes from a man or a woman. But unfortunately, a lot of women go through this. And what do you do when you're in that situation? There is only this much that you'll get pushed to the wall. Finally, you'll have to push back.
Right.
It's about that. At the same time, I don't think it was meant to go out as a moral of the story.
Okay.
Because otherwise, I mean, you know how many, like, it kind of gets boring. What is amazing about this film is that it's
Keeps you
quirky,
on.
it's
Yeah.
funny, it's wicked, it's dark, and it talks about a very serious issue, but the way it's put out is
Right.
so funny,
Right.
it's far more palatable.
Right.
You know, it reaches you far better than I feel if it was just a, I mean, if it was just a moral of the story, I think it's kind of boring.
Right.
Yeah.
Alia, correct me if I'm wrong, it shows such sensitivity for women also. Do you think a woman director directing it helps in a narrative like this? Do you think so?
See, I think there's a certain experience maybe that women in general and their lens, which is a little different.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's more about where the germ of the idea has come. Now, it's come from Jasmeet and it's come from Parvez, and they've done it together.
Right.
It's the man and a woman combination actually. So it's more about the person it's coming from. The sensitivity with which we each played, it's not like what my character is understanding or feeling. Someone like a Vijay is not understanding when I'm playing that character. He still understands it because of the just general kind of lines and boundaries of morality in in general, in the general norms. So I don't think the gender has any part to play in it. It's more about who the idea is coming from and the way you treat it. But I think maybe there is a certain emotional quotient and a certain sensibility maybe that Jasmeet brought to it naturally because of the kind of, maybe the fact that she's a woman.
Right.
I feel like maybe that has a layer which you can't really define.
Right. Fair enough. My time is up. Lastly to you, Alia, when you say your fans do listen to you, so now you're a producer and actor, what do you want to tell them? They should go and watch your film?
Yeah, why not? I would say please. It'll be quite entertaining for you, I promise.
Okay. Thank you and all the very best to all of you. Hope this does very well for each one of you.
Thank you
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.